Hello and welcome back to the class again. Dear students, today in this class we are going to learn about verb and its kinds. A verb is a word which shows an action or describes an event or a state in a sentence. We normally say that verbs are action words. That's correct. But there are non-action verbs too, which describes the situations, conditions, and the meanings related to different concepts. The words like reading, writing, fighting, jumping, sleeping, eating, etc. are examples of verbs. Here are some examples. In these sentences, the verbs are describing actions, concepts, and state of beings. For example, they fought in the ground. She eats banana. He told him a story. In these sentences, you can see that the verbs fought, eats, and told are describing the actions. Hence, these verbs are called physical verbs. Look at these examples. I know the man standing there. We believe in Almighty. Did you recognize her? In these sentences, the words know, believe, and recognize are describing the meaning related to concepts. Hence, these verbs are called mental verbs. Let's see these sentences. We are artists. Kargil is a beautiful town. They have a guitar. In these sentences, the verbs are, is, and have are describing the state. Hence, these verbs are called stative verbs. There are two main kinds of verbs. One is known as finite verbs, and the second one is non-finite verbs. If a verb has a subject and a tense, it can be called a finite verb. The finite verbs are the main verbs in a sentence. For example, Riyaz sings a song in a party. Padma cooked broccoli for dinner. He is washing his clothes. They have finished their tasks. Let's observe the sentence number 1. Riyaz sings a song in the party. The verb sing is a finite verb because it has a subject, Riyaz, and secondly, it tells about the tense. It tells that the sentence is in present simple. In the next example, Padma cooked broccoli. It is a finite verb because it has a subject, as well as it is telling us that the sentence is in past. The finite verb has three forms: transitive verbs, intransitive verb, and auxiliary verbs. A transitive verb is a verb in which the action passes word from a doer to an object. Let's see these examples. They played cricket. He called me. She ate an apple. Shahid killed the snake. So you can see the objects like cricket, me, apple, and snake are receiving the actions playing, calling, eating, and killing. So the verbs played, called, ate, and killed are transitive verbs, which needs an object to complete their sense. Sometimes a transitive verb takes two objects. The objects denoting to persons and animals are called indirect objects, and the objects denoting to things are called direct objects. Usually in a sentence, the indirect object stands first. Let's see these examples. They gave us some money. He granted me a leave for 2 days. So here you can see that the objects us and me are indirect objects, which is used for persons, and the objects money and leave are direct objects, which is used for things. We can also place the direct object before indirect object in a sentence. In this case, we need to use the prepositions like for and to before the indirect object. Let's see the examples. They gave some money to us. He granted leave for me. In these examples, the direct objects like money and leave are used before the indirect objects us and me, but we have used prepositions to and for before the indirect objects. The intransitive verbs are the verbs where the action doesn't pass over to an object. The action stops with the doer. Let's see the examples. They laughed in the meeting. He died suddenly. The dogs bark. The tiger runs in the field. Let's observe the sentence number 1. Here the action of laughing is limited to the subject they, because the rest part of the sentence in the meeting is not an object, It is just a prepositional phrase. In the second example, he died suddenly. So suddenly is not an object, it is just an adverb. So the action stops with the subject he. He died. In the third example, the dogs bark. We do not find any object in this sentence. The tiger runs in the field. Again, the rest of the sentence in the field is not an object. It is again a prepositional phrase. So the verbs laughed, died, bark, and runs are intransitive verbs. They do not need any object to make sense. Sometimes an intransitive verb can also be used transitively when we use a preposition after them. Let's see the examples. They laughed at the poor man. The dogs barked at me. Let's see the sentence number 1. The object poor man is receiving the action of laughing. So the poor man is the object. In the sentence second, me is the object which is receiving the action of barking. So the verbs laughed and barked in this sentence have become transitive verbs. Let's know about auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs, which supports the main verbs to express its meanings with tense and mood. So the verbs be with all its forms is, am, are, was, were, being and being. Secondly, the verb do with its form does and did. Thirdly, the verb have with its form has and had are called primary auxiliaries. And the rest can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, need, etc. are called modal auxiliaries. Let's try to understand the functions of auxiliary verbs. Look at these examples. She can fly a plane. You should attend the class. I have a precious ring. You must go to the meeting. In the sentence number 1, you can see the verb can is a modal auxiliary, which is showing the ability. In the second sentence, should is again a modal auxiliary, which is giving an advice. In the third example, have is a primary auxiliary, which is expressing the position. In the last example, the verb must is again a modal auxiliary, which is expressing an obligation. Remember, the difference between the primary auxiliary and the modal auxiliaries are the primary auxiliaries can be used as a helping verb and as well as a main verb in a sentence. Let's see these examples. We are celebrating Eid. We are Ladakhis. He has finished his cooking. He has a ball. Altaf was teaching English. Altaf was a great man. Let's observe the sentences. We are celebrating Eid. In this sentence, the verb are is a primary auxiliary, which is used as the helping verb to support the main verb. The main verb in this sentence is celebrating. In the second sentence, we are Ladakhis. Here the verb are is the main verb because we do not find any other verb in the sentence. In the second example, he has finished his cooking. The verb has is a primary auxiliary, which is used as helping verb to support the main verb finished. In the next example, he has a ball. Here the verb has is used as the main verb. In the third example, Altaf was teaching English. Here we have used the primary auxiliary was as a helping verb to support the main verb teaching. In the next example, Altaf was a great man. Here the primary auxiliary was is used as the main verb. Let's know about the non-finite verbs. If the verb doesn't tell about the tense, then it is a non-finite verb. A non-finite verb functions as a noun, as an adjective, and as an adverb in a sentence. It has again three forms: gerund, participles, and infinitives. Gerunds are formed by adding ing to the base form of the verb. For example, swimming, smoking, walking, reading, writing, etc. Do not get confused with the gerund and present participles, because gerunds are used as a noun. Let's see these examples. Teaching is learning. Smoking is a bad habit. Walking is good for health. In all these sentences, swimming, teaching, learning, walking, etc. are gerunds functioning as a noun. The second one is participles. Participles are again formed from the base verb. Let's try to see through these examples. Delhi is a crowded place. He got emotional while singing a Balti song. Having done his work, he left. In all these sentences, you can see the verb crowded, singing, and having done are participles. Crowded is a past participle, singing is a present participle, and having done is a perfect participle. In the sentence number 1, crowded is used as an adjective because it is qualifying the place Delhi. In the second sentence, singing is a present participle, and in the third, having done, perfect participle. You can easily notice that these verbs are not giving us any clue about the tense. So these are participles, which comes under non-finite verbs. And the third one is infinitives. Infinitives are formed by adding to before the base form of the verb. For example, to play, to buy, to eat, to read, to write, etc. are examples of infinitives. Let's try to see through these examples. Ali likes to play. In the second sentence, now it is time to go. In the third example, you need extra hard work to pass the test. Let's observe the sentence again. Ali likes to play. Here the infinitive to play is used as a noun. In the second example, now it is time to go. In this sentence, the infinitive to go is used as an adjective, which is qualifying the time, which is a noun. In the third example, you need extra work to pass the test. In this sentence, to pass is an infinitive used as an adverb. Remember, the infinitives without to are called bare infinitives. So this is all about today's class. We have learned the kinds of verbs, finite and non-finite verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs, auxiliary verbs, gerund, participle, and infinitives. That's all about today's lesson. Thank you very much for watching. Let's meet again in the next video.